Hello, everybody. We want to welcome you to Lebanon Church Walk Kicking Bible Study tonight. We're in the book of Leviticus here. The topic of this subject is when a man should make a single vow. Again, when a man should make a single vow. So what is a vow? Why is it different from a sacrifice? Why is it different from it is? A vow is a promise that you make to God because if you want something to happen outside of the sacrifice, most of the sacrifices was made just so that the blood can be shed for the remission of the sins that people was doing. This here is something extra. When a man make a vow, he want God to do something for him in return. He can outside of his cleansing of his sin or his trespassing. Let's say I want a new house, so I make a vow to God. If I do this, God, would you help me with the house? It's like that. And that's what I'm saying to you here. So let's get into it and let's see what the Word of God says so that we can get through it here. Again, we do understand that from the book of Genesis, as we have learned, that this Bible is Jesus' testimony to us. So Jesus was the one in the book of Genesis that was speaking and saying, let there be light. And that same Jesus is now speaking to Moses, giving Moses the things that he needs to do so they can be translated to people so people can carry out the will of God. We learn in our Sabbath service that we all have fell short, and God wants us to become as little church so that He can convert us. In other words, we got to repent of what we have done up to this point and learn something new. And then we learned that you need to be cleansed. That's part of that conversion of the filthiness of the flesh and the spirit. Now, where did that come from? It's because the enemy had put so much sin in us. God has to rid us from that sin, cleanse us out. We learned that we are cleansed through this word here, and this is what Jesus is doing Israel now. He is giving them laws and rules and things so that they can begin to cleanse from the sin that they learned in the world of from Egypt or wherever they was in captivity here. And the same thing with you. This word is designed to cleanse you here. So Leviticus 27 is 34 verses, and here let's start at 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them, When a man shall make a single vow, the person shall be for the Lord by their estimation. And their estimation shall be for a male for 20 years old, even until 60 years old, when they estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekels of the sanctuary. Now we know that there's 50 shekels in the sanctuary. So Jesus said, when you make a vow here, the estimation of your vow is going to cause you 50 shekels of silver here. And if you be a female, then by estimation shall be 30 shekels. So when a woman make a vow to God, she don't have to pay 30 shekels of silver. But a man have to pay 50 of the sanctuary. Now, boy, I can see men's crying in heaven. Oh, Lord, that ain't fair. But even so, 5. And if it be from 5 years old, even until 20 years old, then the estimation shall be of a male 20 shekels of silver, and of a female 10 shekels of silver. God is not putting more weight on the man than he is the woman. Not saying he's being unfair. It's always a reason by why, because men was the breadwinners, and so they had required a great amount of the finances, and obviously they would bless whoever with it, but it's just required. So if you're less than 20, 5 to 20, you have to give 20 shekels of silver, 10 for a lady here. Okay, and so everybody who want to make a vow with God had a financial burden that you come and you bless the priest or the church, and then you make your vow, and the Lord then bring your vow through. If it be from a month or even to 5 years, then the estimation shall be of a male 5 shekels of silver, and of a female then 3 shekels of silver. And if it be 6 years old and above, if it be a male, then the estimation shall be 15 shekels, and for a female 10 shekels of silver here. All right, but if he be poor, then thy estimated, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to his ability. That vow shall the priest value him. Now, just because you poor, okay, don't mean that you can't give nothing. So he don't have no money, but then he shall be judged according to his ability. So you have the ability to work, the ability to do something. So you have to pay for the vow. I keep telling people, if you ain't got no money when you come to church, then you better come preparing to use your ability. Your ability is currency with God. Amen. Even if it be a beast. Well, wherefore men bring an offering unto the Lord. All that many men give as such unto the Lord shall be holy. That means that beast cannot have a blemish. It has to be the best of the best. He shall not alter it nor change it. A good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change of what beast, then and the exchange therefore shall be holier. Jesus said that whatever you're going to offer, you can't take it back, offer something in this place. It's got to be holy. It's got to be without blemish. Remember, he taught us the difference between clean and unclean. Okay, if it be any unclean beast of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto the Lord, then he shall present the beast before the priest, and the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou value it. Who art the priest? So shall it be. And so whatever the priest say, that's what it's going to be. But if he will at all redeem it, he shall add a fifth part thereof as a estimation. So even with the tithe, even with whatever you present as a vow to God, the Bible saying if you redeem it, this animal, just add a fifth part to it. So let's say I go and I ask God to make a vow to give me $20,000. Well, I come back and purchase my beef back and give him a fifth part and go about my business. So, but what I'm trying to say to you, as the Bible is talking here, you cannot come to the house of God with nothing and in exchange with God. And this is what God was teaching them. Okay, 14. And when a man shall sanctify his what house to be what holy unto what the Lord, then the priest shall estimate what it, where it be good or what bad, as the priest shall estimate it, so shall it what stand. So whatever the priest said the value of your home is, that's what it is. And if the sanctuary, it be what redeem his if I'm sorry, if he that sanctified it, meaning offer his house, shall redeem his house, because God allowed them to redeem it, and even with Jubilee, it had to come back anyway. That's 50 years, but he can redeem it. Then he shall what add a fifth part of money of the what estimated thereof, and uh it shall be what here. Excuse me. In other words, if you use your house to make a vow, you can come back and purchase it back. Just add a fifth part to it. You see? So doesn't matter. It's not like I was trying to take it, but when you got your money back and you come and you purchase it based on what the priest evaluated, you give God a little bit more, and God receive that vow. If a man shall what sanctify unto what the Lord, some part of his what fields as his what possession, even thou estimated shall be according to the seed thereof. And a homer of barley seed shall be valued at 50 shekels of what silver. And most of the shekels that he's doing because of the 50 shekels, the shekels in the what sanctuary. So Jesus said you can use your field as a possession to make a vow, whatever you make it to God, He will receive it. Once you get your clearance from God and He bless you, whatever you want to, you can come back and redeem the fifth part of what God gave you. Redeem the field and just add a fifth part to it. It's all the same. If he that sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to the estimated, it shall what stand. Because in the Jubilee, year of Jubilee, as I believe, when God allowed it to come back to it. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall what reckon unto what him the money according to the years that was what that remained. So in other words, if he come back and he redeem it and stuff like that, then the priest got to give him a just for whatever he have made, even unto the year of what Jubilee. So in Jubilee, remember, whatever is happening, it's a forgiveness of every debt, and every possession has to return to its what owner. It shall be abated from their what estimation. So they would have to, based on the number of years things accumulated, God require a just what payment, a just everything, because He's a just God. That's all He's trying to say. If He that sanctify the field will in any wise redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part of what money of the what estimation therein, and it shall be what insured unto what him. See? And if he will not redeem the field, or if he have sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed it shall not be redeemed any what more. Okay, but the field, when it go out into Jubilee, shall what be holy unto what the Lord, as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the what priest. So in other words, Jesus saying, if they don't redeem it, then the field becomes the what property of God, or property of the church or the priest at that point in time, and they will grow food and do whatever they're going to do on that. That's pretty much how it happens. If a man sanctify unto what the Lord the field which he had what bought, which is not of the what field of his what possession. So in other words, if I go and buy my neighbor's field and may use it as a vow or make an offering unto God, okay, that's what he's saying. Then the priest shall what reckon unto him the worth of thy what estimation, even unto the what years of what Jubilee, and he shall give thy estimate in that what day, as a holy thing before what the Lord here. So whatever the priest say, that the priest think that he's going to get from this field throughout those years, then that God said, it's just saying here. All right, we're in 24th now, with 10 more chapters, verses left here, Leviticus 27:24. In the year of Jubilee, the field shall return unto him to whom it was what bought, even unto him whom the possession of the land did what belong. So the priest didn't have to return the field back to him. And all the estimation shall be according to the shekels of the what sanctuary, which was 50 what shekels of what silver. And 10 kilos shall be the shekel. Okay, only the first line of what beast, very first, which shall be the what Lord, fat line, first line, no man shall what sanctify it, whether it be a ox or a sheep, it is what the Lord. So the firstborn is their possession was their tithe. Okay, even if the beast of a unclean what beast. Now, why would they have what it could consider unclean beast? Well, an unclean beast does not mean nothing was wrong with the animal. It means that they couldn't eat the beast. It didn't mean that they could use the beast to work or work the fields and stuff like that. He was unclean because eating them would be harmful to their what health. That's why he said clean and unclean. So that doesn't mean that you couldn't touch the beast and do all the other wonderful things. Okay. Then he shall redeem it according to thy what estimation, and shall add a fifth part of it, therefore. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to the what estimation. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man shall what devote unto what the Lord of all that he have, man and beast, and of the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto what the Lord. non-devoted, which shall be devoted of what men shall be what redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. So let me go back with it because I missed that. Non-devoted, which shall be what devoted of what man shall be redeemed, but shall be what put to what death. So God is dealing with um, this is beyond the offering here. Okay, this is something that you do beyond what God asks. Like their way of blessing God was blessing the church or the what priest. Okay, they would devote the field to the Lord, and the priest then would take the harvest of the field and all these things. And if you want to come back and redeem your field, it can. So if you bought a field, then that's different. No, I shoot the boat. Yeah, excuse me. That devotion stay with the priest throughout their habitation. Okay, now let's get into that offering was you making vows to God, you adding beyond. So let's deal a little bit of this thing called tithe. All right, 30. And all the tithes of the land, whether it be seed of the wood land and of the fruit of the wood trees, is the what Lord. It is holy unto what the Lord. And that's one thing that you're gonna have to learn a biblical principle. Now, what I want you to understand, when God first talking about seed, a tithe, it was the seed of the land, the fruit of the land. It was the things that they possessed, not necessarily the jobs that we have. The reason that we use money as a what value, because that's what this society teaches us. It is a value unto the Lord. So that's what we have. But nevertheless, so we don't have seed of the land and fruit trees. We don't live like that anymore. So we have income. So they will apply to that. All the tithe or the income of the land, whether it be what seed, whether it be of fruit trees, whether it be money, or anything that is the Lord. It's holding unto what the Lord. If a man, that's what he said with the tithe. Now, even with your tithe, if a man at all will redeem all of his tithe, he should add therefore a fifth part to it. God was not, let's say you come into a hard time, you needed to pay your bills. He was not so selfish that you couldn't just pay your bills. He said, just remember, catch up, be wise with your money, and add a fifth part to it. See, so he would allow the tithe to be yours, but if you had to redeem it, then just give me a fifth part, and we'll go on to our business. So how do the tithe works today? Well, we say the tithe is 10%. So 10% of $200 will be $20. Okay, but now if I redeem my tithe, if I can't afford to pay that $20, then Jesus wanted me to add a fifth part to it. So now $20 was that, 10 was my tithe, 25. So I would end up adding $25 into my what tithe. So that's a fifth part of to what I'm doing here. And so that's all God is doing. So in other words, it would be 15% instead of 10%. So now 15% of 200 would probably be what, 25 or $30. That's how they work. So that's how you do. You add a fifth part to it, where it would be 10%. If fifth part would be make it 15%, and that's how you rectify that situation. And concerning the tithe of the what herd or the what flock, even of whatsoever passed under the rod, the tenth shall be what holy unto the Lord. Now you see, God is declaring that 10%. And if you redeem off of that 10%, it would be what 15% to cover what you got. Ain't that something? Oh, you should never pay your tithe. It should never be God will bless. No, just pay a fifth part of it. If you got to eat, God ain't trying to be that. Just give me a fifth part of it here. So now, according to the Bible, He said it's a tenth of everything that we have belongs to God. Our time, our money, our possession, all that is qualified into that. 33 and 34, the last two chapters of the book of Leviticus, and how I have so enjoyed this lesson before we get ready to go to live discussion. Here's what it said. He shall not search whether it be what good or bad, neither shall he what change it. See, you can't change what you're supposed to do. You got to follow. If he changed it at all, then both it and the what change thereof shall be what? That what shall be what? Holy. It shall not be what redeemed. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. So everything that we have read from the time that God delivered them in Exodus, even the time of Leviticus, it's all these things that God was teaching them before they even left and went out on their journey here. Now we understand the Bible comes back into with the tithe. Now we understand that it is a tithe or a offering. So that's why they use the 10 part of our finances, because we don't own land and sheep and cattle, and we don't interact with animals like they did back then. Okay, and so God now they're using 10 part, excuse me again, the 10 part to pay out for your income, because that's what we base money off of. Now, if you can't pay your 10 part, it does not mean that you don't pay your tithe. Then you owe 50% if you got to use it to pay bills and stuff like that, and so forth and so on. So that's all God is saying. This is His law. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the book of Leviticus. I so have enjoyed teaching it. I so have enjoyed going through the different laws, showing you what God meant when He made this law. Before people saying, well, they couldn't keep the law. Yeah, they could. The law was not designed to put hardship on Israel, but to protect them from sickness and protect them from financial ruin, protect them from certain things, and to protect the church and the organization that He was building. And that's all that God was doing. They made it seem like, oh, they was doing this and that. No, 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 no. Everything that God spoke in His book, you can understand, and you can definitely understand why God did it. If you like what you hear, you're going to go to LebanonChurchWorldKingdom.org. Again, that is LebanonChurchWorldKingdom.org. Go to our live broadcast tab, please. Select our Bible study selection from the drop down menu. Become a part of the Bible study group, and you get tons of videos like you hear now, and access to a link to go live, which we get ready to do now. God bless each and every one of you, and you have a wonderful and amazing night here.